Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Season with Saj podcast. It is I, your host, Sajeedahdahliah. Before I begin this episode, I just want to say that I just cleaned my room and arranged everything. And the other day, I saw this video on TikTok. This guy was saying, "Oh, if you have to clean or organize your stuff before you can work and focus, then it's like a mental illness or something." And I'm like, well, forgive me, Mr. Man, for wanting a clean space before I can actually get work done. It's not like I can't get the work done, but then it's just better when your space is clean. People just say the darnest things online, and it's so crazy. And someone would listen to that and be like, well, I guess I'm mentally ill. Like, that's just crazy. Anyways, how is everyone doing? I hope everyone is fine. I hope everyone is thriving. And I just hope everything is going great for you guys. I'm not even going to sit down and explain where I've been because I've been doing that continuously in all the other episodes I've recorded since this year has begun. So I'm just going to get into the episode, guys. So today's episode, from the title, you can see we're going to be talking about timing. Is there a right time for doing things? Is there the perfect? Before I start that, I'm going to give you a little story time on how this podcast started. There was a time I was very active on all the other social media platforms. And when I stopped being active on TikTok, Instagram, and etc., one of my friends brought up an idea that I should start a podcast. And it was there I would think about it. I'd be like, yes, Haj, maybe you should start a podcast. You always have something to say and you're always learning new things. Why not share with the rest of the world and whoever cares to listen? Then I was like, okay, maybe I will start a podcast. It was at the back of my mind. Then eventually I was like, well, I can't start a podcast. I don't have the proper equipment. I don't have a microphone. I don't have access to a studio and all that, because everyone else I watched online either had all those things, or just everyone I watched online had those equipment and everything was organized and everything. Then one day I was sitting in my room scrolling. Then I saw a post by one of my other friends and she started her podcast. And I was like, oh my God, Saj. So this is very much possible. Then immediately I texted her, how did you start your podcast? I've been wanting to start mine, just getting the details and whatnot. Then she told me that day I started doing my research. She told me about a particular website that she uploaded from. She told me about the RSS feed. I did all that. I did my research. That same day I recorded a trailer for the podcast. Originally, I picked a different name. Then I was like, oh my God, that name just came off the bat. I need a more personal name. Then I picked a more personal name, a different name that just felt more me. Then the first cover art for the podcast, it was just on a whim. I made it on Canva. Then eventually I made one that was more personalized. But I did something. Immediately I got the feeling and the vibe. Immediately I just felt like, yes, that moment was just right. Like I just had to do it at that moment. The moment that I felt like it was possible, I just had to do it. Even though I did not have a microphone, I did not have a setup and all that, I just started, okay? That moment I started, and ever since then we've just been growing, evolving. And I think compared to then, the sound has gotten better. I'm not really sure because you guys don't really give me feedback on the sound anymore. But back then, you guys said the sound wasn't as great. And hopefully now the sound is better. So now, in relation to today's episode, there is no right time for anything. The earlier you start something, the more experience you're able to gather. Like I did. I just started and I've learned so much from the whole world of podcasting and everything. I just learned it. I didn't wait till I could get equipment to start. I did not wait till I could build an audience on the page to start. No, I just started and everything else followed. Everything else aligned itself. When you say to yourself that the timing for something isn't right, you're making excuses. You're making excuses to yourself because you're too scared to take that leap of faith. The uncertainty of everything scares you. Nobody likes uncertainty, and that's okay if it does scare you. Now, I want you to think of the times that things have happened to you in your life. It could be happening now or it has happened in the past that are unexpected. Did you adjust to the situation and make choices that helped you navigate the situation better, or did you panic and make a fuss about how things aren't going the way you want them to go? I want you to be honest with yourself. Ask yourself this question. Let this marinate. You can pause the audio and actually think about it, because I asked this question for you to reflect and not just for asking questions' sake. I want you to reflect and actually see where you stand. Are you done? Okay. I don't know, this is giving, those Netflix interaction videos that they ask you questions along the way when you're watching them, usually for kids TV, but then there are like a few movies I think that have this. Anyways, here are my 2 cents for those of you that have made it this far. Stop lying to yourself. Stop telling yourself you're not ready. I need you to open yourself to possibilities of amazing experiences. You don't know what tomorrow holds. Hell, you don't even know what the next minute holds. So stop waiting for the perfect time. The perfect time may never come. Now, here's a scenario for you to help understand this message better. Let's say you want to start a business, but you have no capital. So you tell yourself it is not the perfect time. You believe that if it truly were, you'd already have the money. Okay? I want you to imagine there are 2 versions of yourself. There's version A and there's version B. Version A is the present version of you, that is you right now, full of ideas and drive, but lacking capital. So version A starts saving money and also investing the money in different things like the stock market, gold, real estate, whatever. At the same time, version A is studying other businesses similar to his in the current market and is learning from them. And in the process is building discipline. He's not just sitting around, he is preparing. And then there's version B. I want you to imagine me anytime I say right time, I'm doing air quotes, okay? So there's version B, the right time version. One day, someone randomly gives version B the capital he's been waiting for. But because version B thinks that the perfect time has magically arrived, he doesn't bother to study the market or learn about the business. Version B just assumes success is guaranteed, so he jumps in blindly and eventually goes bankrupt. So now let us look at the difference between version A and version B. Version A acknowledged what he wanted right from the start. And what did he do about that? He started building a roadmap that would get him there. He didn't wait for things to fall into place. He created a plan. He used his time wisely. He built discipline and in the process gained a lot of knowledge. So when the opportunity came for him to start his business, he was prepared, he was ready. His investments paid off. Not only did he start his business, but he was able to keep it afloat and watch it grow. And then we have version B, who waited for money to appear out of nowhere and took no action until it did. He lacked the preparation and mindset to sustain what he'd been given. From this scenario I've created, I want you to understand that because you want to achieve something and you currently don't have the means to, that doesn't mean success is out of reach for you. No, it only means that you now have the chance to put things in place for you to get there. I literally have a podcast episode where I talk about embodying the future version of yourself. Why is this important? It's so important so that when you finally get to those places, which I truly believe you will, you'll be able to stay there or even go higher. By embodying that future version of yourself, you're not wasting time sitting around waiting for things to happen. You're using the time to prepare. You're acquiring healthy habits. You're making yourself more knowledgeable and you're building that discipline, the most important one of all, that the future you needs. This is a reminder that success is not built overnight. It is built step by step with consistency and resilience, and the little wins that make a difference. So if you see success in your future, you start working towards it today. Stop waiting for the perfect time and acknowledge the moment as your perfect time. There's this saying in Hausa, Allah ya ce, tashi in taimake ka. It means God said, get up, let me help you. What is this saying? You can't just sit around waiting for things to happen to you when you're not making an effort. I'm very sure most of you, the listeners, belong to a religion, be it Islam or Christianity. I'm going to use just these two because these are the ones I'm very familiar with due to my environment, okay? I just want to remind you that both religions do not encourage laziness and entitlement. What they do, in fact, encourage is hard work and humility. This is just a reminder in case you've forgotten. So I'm just going to end this episode by saying, stop postponing the things you want to achieve because you feel like it's not the right time. How about you adjust your current self to be able to accommodate that success that you see the future version of you having? Anyways, I'm just going to end it here. Oh my God. I wanted to say this. I learned something new, okay? So, you know how we have a lot of portmanteaus that we use a lot, like motel, motor, and hotel. Okay, portmanteaus are when you mix two words to like form another word or something. I can't really remember the exact textbook definition, but I can give you examples. Breakfast and lunch, we have brunch. Motor and hotel, we have motel. We have brother and romance, which gives bromance. We have costume, role play, cosplay, chill, relax, chillax. Okay, I'm done with the examples. I just found out that podcast is also a portmanteau. Like, if you can guess which two words, I would really be amazed because I couldn't guess which two words. So the two words are iPod and broadcast. That's so crazy. So podcast comes from two words, iPod, and broadcast, podcast. That's actually so crazy. Anyways, enough with me ranting. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed recording it for you guys. Don't forget to leave a review on Apple Podcast and Spotify. And also DM me anytime you have any questions. I'm here. If I'm not replying, then I'm really swamped. I'm very busy and probably overwhelmed with everything that is going on. But I want you guys to feel free to text me anytime you have a question or anytime you just need to talk about a certain dilemma you're facing and maybe get an opinion on it, another opinion. You probably have other opinions on it, but maybe if you just need an opinion from Saj or something, I don't know, but just feel free anytime. My DMs are always open. I hope you guys enjoyed the rest of your day. Bye.